Utie oha echi ponkno. Needs FM.
Na wasan de aba behwe mu biem ya mampani akwantuo se de kwakwae se o mampani de krata betu manim bia se obetu kwan a na eja washa ase ya na nso wa click watch and o calculator na wo ye calculation ala
yo edikan pacho my main yatie for nyana
eche for jos
main fun to just osha the latest write up mayano revelations na media to journal may call it for a national presidential travel policy as our policy no ye be the discretion of the kind of aircraft president biaba or no per se or the two coin you be use that discretion because of example President Akufo-Addo or SETI who share other jurisdictions, other countries or common on here. It's a United States of America say or more a presidential travel policy. Obey president you do not determine what kind of aircraft and who person obey easy. Presidential jet no yato ama the president no and one omu use it. The President Biden and one will use it. Though it is more than 30 years old, and one will use it. And one Donald Trump will use it. And one President Barack Obama use it. President Clinton, President Bush. This same Air Force One sometime in the 1990s, 1991 mohono. And no one will use it. Omunyana Oko France. Omo presidential jet. Interestingly, Ghana, other president, other presidential jet, and President Kufuor Abres, President Kufuor order that presidential jetway. That same time, France order presidential jet. Yet the year be drew 2010, almost the year be drew 2010. President Macron, that presidential jet na OUZ, or called G20 summit recently, or called G7 summit, and one didn't call yet. Oba Africa, his visit to Rwanda about almost 2 months ago. No, jet na uyuzi. Inti shocking. Say Uba Ghana, your presidential jet. The last time defense minister Oba Parliament Oba confirm yes jet no juma. Ibia NC jet no NC and yes say their cost servicing and I say jet no available. Presidential jet no available. The reason why you buy a presidential jet and it is even safer for the president because who use the presidential jet now? Wow crew Ghana Air Force staff from the communications squadron was screening or more pledge allegiance to you. And they are flying you. Pilots, crew, and all of that. You can trust them. Their loyalty is not in doubt. Uko high is VIP luxury jet. Companies insist say you must use their crew. Into pilot, who name baby a pilot free. You don't know where his loyalty lies. Crew members, who name you don't know where their loyalty lies. And the aircraft no crano, the surveillance system the is dropping recorded their work important discussions and all of that. You cannot be sure. It is even safer. They will be using a presidential jet in terms of protection, making sure that your communication and the affairs of state is well guarded. It is very essential and crucial. So we'll be using a presidential jet. In Tiana, if you look at the track record of this current president, since presidential jet we buy in 2010, President Mills and one use here. President Mills, there was not a single day or charter an aircraft. President Mahama so by take it over. Presidential jet we are use here. Who share records now? President Mahama there were two occasions. Air Force for aircraft, on my paying, yeah, their cost service, is not available. And to make alternative arrangements. And President Mahama made those alternative arrangements. Usha alternative arrangements, Bombardier now, or call Lizzie, It's nowhere, so just a simple aircraft. It was not a luxury aircraft. But Usha, President Akufo-Addo, who shared the track record, Oko, Brussels, France, and South Africa. Sasem no, yankan wiye. Ubekaya, Mibisa the question to the finance minister. Finance minister, after a lot of pussyfooting, finally, or by several weeks after, and I'll catch a parliament said, well, he can't really tell us the cost into young national security minister. And I filed another question. National security minister, so Onyamba Begiano, at least to be fair to the national security minister, when the question went admitted by the speaker, and chair and parliament went on recess, we are hoping, sir, if parliament returns in October, then the national security minister will come to parliament and respond to the aspect to do with cost. Defense minister there, June 16th, and Oba Parliament confirm here, say, I in Ghana, that's so the presidential jet, and say, except that he argued, say, we need a bigger jet. Now, that argument of a bigger jet, meaning, we share your presidential jet, is a 17-seater capacity, or the crew, or the BBI account, 17-seater. That VIP ultra luxury jet where President Akufo-Addo or charter is saying, this is just a 19-seater. We share first one or charter Echo, Brussels, France, Paris, and Johannesburg. No, it was a 19-seater. This one, the LXDIO, Wakwako charter is saying, it is also a 19-seater. Now, Usha, the features of this aircraft, I clear, sir. Uko company where the Luxembourg Global Jet, they be a Yako High this jet from their base in Luxembourg. That company, our fleet of aircraft, into from $1,500 an hour, all the way to between $18,000 to $22,000 now, depending on who seeker and how you want to, the kind of comfort, extreme luxury now open and I'll be here. Now, I shocking say, Maya, your president, I can say, Nemamwa Yeding, especially after COVID, it's the organized labor, more managing 4% pay rise. Wow, name say, organized labor, I am very upset with that arrangement. Not for, I declare, so on the cost strike. Utah for strike negotiations, COSO, Federation of Senior Staff Association of Ghana, the universities. You have the GMA or mass serving notice. Frontline healthcare workers are more buoyant to fight COVID. Pledges, we have not been able to meet them because yes, if you look at all the needs, school feeding caterers or Mokase, one Ghana cedis a year more, it's just too much. They don't know what they can cook with that. They want an increase. They are agitating. All over in Sio Nemo, you go to a lot of our communities. Nipa and more share the same water source. You have all of these challenges. Yantumen to vaccines. Germany or call says he went to plead with President Merkel, say, more excess of these vaccines, more than your population. And the Germans at least have been able to assist us, Kakra, and it will not really help us in terms of achieving herd immunity, but they have showed some love. You are pleading, you are begging all these rich nations, but we share these rich nations are our presidential travel policy. It does not allow for this kind of lavish lifestyle, living like an Arabian king, where, as the defense minister said, you want to shower in the skies and all of that. And yet, Indiana may advocate say the time has come. let us have a presidential travel policy. Oko America, when you use Air Force One, your official business. Who divert your private business? Maybe a oko stra or babia or school, and now oko political campaign, and now wako a partisan fundraising event, and now wako party be a graduation of your children and now your grandchildren. You are asked to reimburse. You pay back. You pay back to chest so that the American taxpayer will have value for money. Ahano, they charter these jets, ubetina, oh, ya party be, ya graduation be. Ninyina is on the taxpayer. And the omoye rich countries, omo sikano, echenye, superpowers, they don't allow their leaders to dissipate taxpayers' money in this way. But it appears we are so, nonchalant, and we have a leader, no matter how you talk, he just can't be bothered. But it is wrong, and we cannot continue this way. In your presidential jet, our president, for order, Omoba Parliament, Okai Hansard now. Ghanaians were told, Parliament was told, sir, jet, it has a lifespan of at least 20 years. Jets no be drew 2010. We are in 2021. It's just done 11 years, nowhere near the 20 years. I mean, as God will have it, President Macron of France, the presidential jet, and also be drew that same year, 2010. President Macron is using his presidential jet, and one or they call Germany, and one or they call G7 summit over UK. That presidential jet now, and President Macron, they call Rwanda about 2 months ago. Why is it that the French president and other presidents in the world are using their presidential jet? But Uba Ghana, our president picks and chooses. It appears it's only within African trips and our person will be using the presidential jet. But our co-Europa, he then opts for these expensive, ultra luxurious VIP charter jets. Then you have $14,000 an hour minimum. That's the minimum, and I believe it is more, especially if you order the jet through middlemen, through brokers. Will bet you between $18,000 and $22,000. And why wouldn't the reputation of this government? They like to use middlemen. Sputnik V scandal, not their cause. And if they continue to use middlemen for these aircraft, now we are paying even more. But I have decided to just do conservative analysis. The lowest, it cannot go below that. $14,000 an hour. Your calculation now, the hours used now, $574,000. Meaning that's about 3.46 million Ghana cedis. Over 3 million Ghana cedis. So the number of schools are better to end the double track. Congestion now air coso. Ayankola Omuko Secondary School Krana Omuni Bebia Ombeda. 3 million Ghana cedis. Ya coin I say in Sia anyhow. I mean, workers are more agitated who are being laid off. What that money can be used for. I mean, honestly, the way I near my corner there, I am clear in my mind, sir. We now need a presidential travel policy. And no, we will remove that discretionary mandate from the president. And you know, obedi determine say presidential jet President Kufuor near a member of my party, President Kufuor, and you say, maybe somebody from another party, and you don't trust the jet, and I say, BB, President Kufuor or order. All your predecessors have used the jet. BBA NC. Unkwadia umpese ube using. Meanwhile, this jet it flies non-stop to the UK, flies non-stop to Germany, and no cry is safer because we use the presidential jet now. The crew, from Ghana, the communication squadron, the Ghana Air Force.
Okay.
Why are you refusing to use the presidential jet?
Okay.
And it's just mind-boggling.
All right. I believe some where raise all the legitimate concerns, Now, but me be say, man penny, betu kwanya, you no one pe, and now all the decide say, your flight to in a bit betu kwano. And now say, and she share what bamboo moon semono, one more in charge. I won't be decided. My penny security details. One would you go for me who said there be jet to win a self-fata says or do a man penny no. It took quite no moment any pema.
Your brilliant question. Who share the kind of arrangement that you're pretty to say no? Ghana, you need a presidential travel policy. It's all of these guidelines now. We don't have it. Indiana, you can tell say various ministers contradicting. If you listen to the defense minister carefully, Obe responded to my question, our parliament, on the state of the presidential jet. Ono ka say President Betu Kwanya, you're contacting the ministry. And now Omo decided. If you go back to his script, it is even online. And he says Omo and the Ghana Air Force Communications Squadron is under the defense ministry. But Finance Minister Babe responded to my second question on the cost of the trip. No, Ono ka say Yanko Bisa National Security Minister, the National Security Ministry na Omo what details no, Omo determine. But with all of this no, who share your budget and so budget meaning about parliament for approval. Tikano, yeah, the two office of government machinery. Intiana Ubekaya, there was an outrage in this country 2019. Ebeto just said the previous year no na President Akufo-Addo was spending about 67 million Ghana cedis on presidential travels. That was from the budget of the office of government machinery. In Tisikano, yeah, they caught in the office, the chief of staff's office, the presidency. And you have all of this confusion. In Tisikano, yeah, they are caught presidency, the office of government machinery. They come to parliament to account for it at the end of the year. More babisa for a new budgetary allocation. They account for it. And that is how come we get to know how much has been spent on presidential travel. Now, so about the technical details again, there is some confusion between Ministry of Defense and Ministry of National Security. Exactly what is going on there. There is lack of transparency. But I know for certain, the fact that the money goes to the presidency, the office of government machinery. And yet possible, in all of this analysis, no, beside the president and the president's direct assign on more preference and on more wishes when it comes to even the final determination how they are going to fly, how they are going to get to their destination and all of that. You can tell, it is quite hazy and it's quite confusing. I think sometimes too deliberately done, whether for good and for other opaque reasons, it's not clear. But it is the reason why many other countries know a presidential travel policy, and that is what guides how these things are done to ensure, at the end of the day, there is accountability, and that the public purse is being protected, and then there's the safety, and then the president's, if you like, national security needs are also being met. Because I am clear in my mind, and many a lot of these aviation experts are concerned. You are safer when you use your presidential jet, far safer as compared to charter, because you're exposed they are also with Acropolis Aviation. It's a say what called Luxembourg Global Jet. Now I don't know which other company they will be going to. All these things are needless. Just be modest and share your presidential jet. It's not bad. If you are shower now anymore, we don't have a cinema room to watch movies in the presidential jet, but it's comfortable. Our reclining chairs, and you can be served well and all of that. Your predecessors have used it.
Okay.
ANC. Honestly, I do not know why the president will be subjecting Ghanaians to all of these financial loss.
All right, Honorable, what you to say? You confusing, say who say him for and arrange your manpenny. Na kwantu ho nsɛm ne titiriw the security details I be determine jet and as a company kura impose on manpenny de wo jet ebetu kwan a eti aden na what the blame no koma mampanyin wo mrekwa mampanyin yenim say on de ne ho when it comes to such arrangements.
Debbie, no, you are wrong. You have to understand me very well. Yeah, share the mechanics or more involved, and I make her say those who are part of the decision making process now. There's even no real clarity. But about the decision on this presidential jet, the information available, and it is the president on person or be using the presidential jet, particularly for European travels. He uses it within Africa. And the irony, and recently president or the presidential jet, or they call Uganda, or they call more swearing in ceremony of their new president after the elections. Ocean distance now, about 6.5 hours. That's virtually the same distance going to London, going to Germany, quite the same distance. That's about 30 minutes difference because Germany is about 7 hours. If you use this within Africa, why is it that when you are going to Europe, you don't want to use it? And what I said about Europe there, you are not comfortable using that. And you can talk to insiders on this. I think one of the lead communicators, confirm here, the Honorable Nana Komia, T4 Egogo Krana. I think he said it on Metro TV, Good Morning Ghana.
Yeah.
Nana Komia revealed, President likes to use it in Africa, but by Europe, he prefers to use other aircraft. He does not like to use the presidential jet. It's public information. Nana Komia.
Yeah, that is correct. Correct. Emma Nichire say there has been an advice. So mampanyin to me fire presidential jet and to quite and long distance.
And advice, he doesn't tell us where it came from. And advice, you don't see the head and tail. Because if you can use the presidential jet to Uganda, I had the same distance, we'll call London, we'll call Europe. And aircraft it took about some 8 to 9 hours non-stop. You don't need to refuel. In aviation, the aircraft airworthy. That's all you need. It's about to meet the work of Kumasi safely. About to meet the work of Lagos safely. About to meet the work of Kampala safely. It can also take you to Paris. It can take you to London. It can take you to Berlin because it is airworthy. What's going on here? It really doesn't make sense.
Needs FM.